How to make a bell.
I have my fabric on fold, so I folded 15 inches, that's 7.5 inch on fold, and the width is about 10 inches. This is totally dependent on how wide you want your bow to be. So as you can see, that's 7.5 inch. Now I'm going to be cutting it out. After cutting out, I'll be stitching this side of it, making sure I leave about 2.5 inches opening without stitching. Now I'll be placing this seam that I just made at the center, and now go ahead and stitch my sides closed. After stitching my sides closed, I'll make sure I trim it down because this fabric is bulky, and I'll also snip at the corner so I can turn easily. Now using that opening that I made earlier, I'm going to be turning out my bow. Now I have this strip of fabric which is about 3 inches in width and about 8 inches in length. Now I'm going to be getting the midpoint of my bow, and I marked that with a chalk. I'll come in with my needle and thread, and starting my stitching from the back, I am going to do a running stitch all the way through the center line that I just drew out now. After making my running stitch, I pulled on it. I pulled the thread tightly so it formed gathers, and now I'm going to be winding my thread around my bow just to tighten it and give it that shape. After doing this, I'll make sure I secure my thread properly at the back. I'll make sure I tie my knot properly at the back. Now I'm going to be stitching on this piece of fabric that I have with 1/4 of an inch. After that, I'll be turning it out, and this is what it looks like. Now making sure that that stitch is at the center point, I'm going to be placing it over my bow like this and stitching at that back. Then I'll be cutting off this allowance. Now I'm going to be turning over that strip like this, just so that my seam allowance is concealed, and that's how you make a simple bow. Thank you for watching.